Hi everyone, my viewer's just been parked in this car park and they're following the police car out to the exit. This video is not to point fingers, but actually to educate people a little bit more on how traffic lights work. And I'm also going to ask my viewers to add any extra useful information in the comments if you can help out. This information about how traffic light sensors work is going to aid your planning and anticipation in your daily driving. Most sets of traffic lights in the UK have sensors on, and this aids traffic flow. There's often a timing element to most sets of traffic lights, but if there's no traffic coming from a particular direction, there's no point the lights being on green, so they'll often change to red and let the traffic from the other directions go. That's why when driving home at night, if you stick to the main roads, your lights are generally going to be on green, because there's little coming from the side roads. There's a gap in the traffic coming from the left, and that's why it's released the traffic from the car park. But the traffic is still queuing to the right hand side. I think it's this lack of movement coming from the car park which has confused the traffic light system. The sensor, which can be seen on the top of the left traffic light, has sensed that there's been some movement and then nothing. No vehicles have approached and stopped at the lights since the lights changed onto red. So as far as the system's concerned, there's no one from this direction. The sensors aren't always going to be like we see on top of the light to the left. A large proportion of the time they're actually magnetic sensors, which are laid into grooves cut into the tarmac on the approach to sets of lights, and they work in a similar way. They pick up on traffic movement. So now, because the system's confused, it thinks no one's coming from the car park, why would it change the main road lights? It's just going to leave them on green, and that's exactly what goes on. Eventually the lights should cycle, unless they are properly broke, which may very well be the case here. But I actually don't think so. This time to cycle can vary greatly in my experience. You'll sometimes have to wait 2 or 3 minutes or even longer, depending on the busyness of the road that you're exiting from. Another thing which may have aided the situation if one of the pedestrians that's walked across had to press the button, but they obviously don't because there's nothing moving. Even the driver of the police car's realising something's not quite right. My viewer could have also done something to aid this situation. I'm not sure whether there was anyone behind, but they could have probably reversed up and then approached the traffic lights again, and that may very well have triggered the sensor into sensing them, obviously encouraging the lights into cycling. This standoff goes on for virtually another full minute before the police driver decides to do something. Well, it has been nearly 3.5 minutes since the lights changed onto red. That may very well work sometimes, but moving your car, in my opinion, has a better chance of triggering the sensors.
I think that sensor up there isn't detecting the traffic. Yeah, I think that sensor up there is not seeing the traffic for some reason, because they don't go unless it can see the traffic on this side. But yeah, either that's broken or it can't see the cars for some reason, which is a bit weird. Yeah, cheers.
I think that information's correct, but I also think they rely on movement to actually pick up on the traffic. If any of my viewers work in traffic management systems, an explanation would be appreciated.
So, yeah. Yeah.
I go to a car, so they're going to come and stop that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I don't think there is on this one, but...
It's hard to tell exactly what was said, but I think we've got a few people coming over to help. This also takes another full minute before we're ready for action. So in total, it's been a full 7 minutes since the lights first changed onto red. So again, I'd like to call on my viewers, if you are an expert in this field, is this a possibility? Will traffic lights potentially stay on red for this time, or are they broke? The police use the blue lights to stop the traffic from the left hand side and allow the people out the car park. What would you have done if you were caught in a similar situation and you didn't have a police officer in front that could use their exemption? Interesting one, this.
Thank you.
Keep safe everyone. I'll see you soon.